Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time we have unboxing of the Nothing Phone 4a. Let's get started. I remind you that in the Nothing nomenclature, if it includes the letter A, it indicates mid-range devices, not a flagship model. This brand has assured us that this year there will not be a new version of its flagship device. They don't want to release products annually just for the sake of it, which speaks very well of this British company. Honestly, they have created some truly appealing products that are quite impressive. So let's take a look at what we discover in this box. I should mention that at the time this video is being recorded, I am not aware of its launch price. Therefore, if I happen to find out, I will make sure to display it on screen, provided they send it to us before this video is published. But hey, for now, let's go ahead and get the contents of the case out of the way. You know, this company always warmly welcomes you to the entire community experience. They even invite you to use a hashtag if you take pictures with this device, among other things. Let's get this out of here because on the lid we'll come across some interesting content. Here, for instance, we have the case, which I personally think is a really nice addition. Notice that we are discussing a case that is entirely transparent and completely flexible, with edges that are semi-rigid. I believe it will protect the device effectively. As you are aware, all Nothing devices feature specific transparencies and elements which will definitely remain visible through this case. Therefore, I don't see the reason to use a solid case when the device boasts an iconic design. Therefore, it's certainly good news to notice this transparent case. Now let's take a look at what else we might find over here, because I believe we still have a bit more content to explore. There's a cable which goes from USB-C to USB-C. However, unlike the high-end series, in this instance the cable doesn't have any transparency. That happens to be a small differentiator that the manufacturer reserves for its pricier devices. Well, what accompanies transparency is this particular tool. So in this tool they have included this traditional transparent element that the manufacturer usually places on all of its products. Honestly, it gives it a very original appearance, but well, it's just a minor detail. And lastly, we have the now well-known little pieces of paper. So the content of the box is quite minimal. As you notice, it doesn't include a charger, which will be a very significant omission. I believe it's a mistake not to include a charger in the box, but as usual, this is an unpaid promotion. I typically use Ugreen's chargers, especially this one that provides. I find the integrated cable to be quite useful. Let me go back for a moment, come back here, let me take a look. No way, I really thought it was not working. Well, the manufacturer actually offers many different types of chargers that are fully compatible with the fast charging feature of this cell phone. So if you are interested, I have left a link in the description where you can find them. Alright, now let's take a closer look at the device. The very first thing we're going to do is remove it from this container. As you can see, it comes wrapped in a small pouch. Here we have the cell phone, and this particular one is the black edition. However, don't forget that it's also available in other colors like white, blue and pink. This generation has offered a much wider variety of back cover options, yet they all maintain the same essence with certain transparencies and effects that we will explore shortly. But let's go ahead and put it on, and while it's on, I think I'll take the time to finish putting away the items in the box, because honestly, there's not much else left to do in this unboxing. Of course, let's take a moment to go over the specifications. We've already set up the device, so let's take a detailed tour of its specifications. You'll find it is 8.5 millimeters thick and weighs 205 grams. This device doesn't follow the trend of being ultra thin and ultra light. Instead, it offers a more traditional feel in hand. With its straight cover on both the back and front, it feels even thicker, providing a solid and substantial experience. The device boasts an IP64 certification, which makes it completely dust-proof and splash-resistant. However, the manufacturer guarantees it also has extra protection, allowing it to be submerged in water up to 25 centimeters for a duration of 20 minutes. Therefore, for any accidental spills or drops, you should be well protected. Additionally, on the back, we can clearly see the essential interface, indicating that it is capable of emitting sounds in combination with these lights. It features various types of animations designed to sync perfectly with the sound it emits and the visual experience it provides. So, here you have a few examples. In fact, they are the same sounds we've encountered on other Nothing devices. However, in this instance, they have been adapted to the LED arrangement, which is now, let's say, much simpler compared to what we have seen in previous generations, where there was a much more extensive configuration involving numerous LEDs. Here, it is more discreet, but I genuinely like it a lot. Still, the result appears quite original and very nice. Naturally, there are no other phones that have this feature. And you can not only use it for ringtones, but also for some notifications. Or even in this case, for example, you can filter using keywords and other elements to alert you only about important notifications. Additionally, we have the timer here, which allows you to visually track a countdown using this small interface. For example, I will set it for 45 seconds. We flip it upside down and you can see it starts counting down, much like an hourglass. Gradually, it fills up the bar, providing a visual representation of the time passing. This feature also functions as a small experimental progress bar, which can be useful for applications such as Uber, Zomato, and Google Calendar, giving you a clear visual of the progress being made. So that visual element is not only aesthetic, but could also become a functional element for users. The screen is 678 inches in its diagonal, so it also has a traditional size with 1224 x 2720 pixels resolution, so it is superior to Full HD, and you should know that it will indeed give you a little bit higher level of detail. In this case, the manufacturer gives a lot of priority to the dark theme, although I don't like it, but of course you can turn it off. The display's maximum brightness is extremely high, reaching up to 4500 nits, which is excellent. Typically, it has a maximum brightness of 800 nits, making it ideal for outdoor use where the highest peak brightness will be activated. This display is, of course, 120 Hz and also supports HDR content. By the way, it's protected with Gorilla Glass wine. Additionally, we will find stereo sound featuring a speaker at the bottom and another located in the earpiece area for calls. When it comes to a first impression, I must say that I found the sound quality to be quite good, with a sufficiently strong bass presence, especially considering we're discussing a mid-range device. The front camera features 32 megapixels with an aperture of f2.2 and has a fixed focus. Now, here we are observing some examples. You might notice that the rear area still appears slightly overexposed in the preview, but once the image is captured, the balance between highlights and shadows looks quite good. The color processing by Nothing has historically been excellent and remains so in this generation. The front-facing camera competes very well with others. On the back, pay close attention because we have 3 cameras. To begin with, there's the ultra-wide 8-megapixel camera featuring an f2.2 aperture. And it has a fixed focus along with a quarter-inch sensor, which isn't bad at all. Moreover, there's the main camera with 50 megapixels featuring a 1/157-inch sensor, optical stabilization, autofocus, and f1.8 aperture. And to wrap things up, we have the 50-megapixel periscope camera, which also features a 1/2.75-inch sensor. It comes with optical stabilization and an f2.88 aperture. Additionally, the optical zoom capability is 3.5x. To be honest, the camera setup appears quite promising to me, especially when we consider that in the mid-range segment, it's not very usual to find a telephoto camera. However, in this case, we do have some excellent options. Let's go over the results, because here we have the ultra-wide camera. Right from the start, it seems to capture quite good photos. Of course, it's not on par with a high-end device, but the quality looks quite decent. At this moment, you're observing the main camera, which indeed elevates significantly, providing enhanced contrast along with improved color rendition. Following that, the 2x digital zoom aims to maintain optical quality. Honestly, I don't think it performs spectacularly in that aspect. However, when we move to the telephoto camera, it does provide us with optical quality. At 80mm, it looks quite impressive. Then we move to 160mm, which is about 7x digital zoom, and the truth is it looks exceptionally good, especially under high illumination conditions where the detail is preserved remarkably well. Now you're observing the 10x digital zoom image, where you begin to notice that it's indeed digital zoom, yet it still appears quite competitive. Now you're viewing the 20x digital zoom, and at first glance it seems impressive. When you zoom in, it already shows low detail, yet I appreciate the zoom capabilities that this device offers. Then you see the 30x zoom, which still doesn't appear overdone for a mid-range device. The zoom will definitely be quite competitive. And the maximum that this device reaches is 70% digital zoom, and obviously here it already looks much more forced. However, I believe that up to 30x zoom is the maximum typically used in everyday situations, making this device highly competitive for me. Regarding the camera, note that we can record in 4K with the main and telephoto cameras, but not with the ultra-wide camera. This is where it becomes evident that it's not a complete flagship device, as not all cameras offer the same recording experience. I am also testing to see that if you have already started recording, even though it allows you to zoom in, it doesn't switch between one camera and the other. At least it doesn't do so in this configuration of 4K. I believe we noticed several limitations here, such as the front camera not being able to record in 4K. Now, the battery has a capacity of 5080 mAh with support for 50 watts charging, although the charger must be purchased separately, and although it does not give us wireless charging or reverse wireless charging, at least it has reverse charging by 7x cable. Watts, which should be noted, has a slightly higher power than the load typically provided by other cell phones. Within the system we will find Nothing OS 4.1, which is based on Android 16. It's important to note that it has already received approximately 3 updates and continues to receive further updates. Nothing is a manufacturer that often ensures a great user experience by releasing numerous updates. I've been utilizing Nothing to enhance features, among other aspects, so I believe this will become one of its strongest assets. Additionally, it offers 3 years of Android updates and 6 years of security patches, which are quite decent for the mid-range category. To begin wrapping up, the device comes with 8 GB of physical RAM and 256 GB of UFS 3.1 storage. However, there might also be versions with 12 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage, so this could vary based on the regions. But hey, I got my hands on the 8 and 256 version. And finally, the processor is the Snapdragon 7S Gen 4. And for those who like numbers, the Geekbench results, in single core, 1,251 points, and in multi-core, it reached 3,324, while in Antutu reached 11,46,981 points. Obviously far from the results that gives the high end, but in the mid-range, I think it competes well, and what I like is that it discharged 4% of the battery, so it seems that the battery can get to defend well in these environments of high consumption. But well, this was just an initial look at the Nothing Phone 4a. Remember, we will have the complete review available soon. For now, we've come to the conclusion of this video. If you enjoyed it, you can let us know, and we will see you in the next one.